Hey everybody, I'm Michelle Roy of Dragonfly Wellness, and this is Wellness Wednesday. So, it's great to be back, everybody. It's been several weeks since I've come to you. I've actually been, I think I've shared with you all, I have a chronic inflammatory condition, and I've been in a flare-up the last few weeks, and also, working a lot, and I've had a lot going on in my personal life too, and so I've had a lot of balls in the air, and it's been, to be honest, it's been really challenging the last few weeks. And so unfortunately, Wellness Wednesday and my video content is what was sacrificed in the midst of all that. And when you don't have a lot of extra energy and you feel like crap, you don't really want to be in front of the camera anyway. When you feel like you look like crap, you don't want to be in front of the camera. So I've missed being here. And I feel like I've been saying this, it's been a kind of a rough fall. I've been hit and miss with this, and it's difficult to accept that I feel like I'm failing somehow, or I'm not meeting expectations. And I have to sit back and recognize those are my expectations, no one else's. And the bottom line is, if you can't do it, you can't do it. If you don't have the energy, you don't have the energy. And the only way you get the energy is to give yourself time to rest. So I've been doing that. I've been basically just, honoring the commitments I really need to meet, and then giving myself some rest. I'm finally coming around the corner, I think. Still a ways to go. But I guess I just wanted to talk to you about how it's okay. Like, if you don't have it, you don't have it. For any reason, if you don't have some chronic illness, you can still go through periods of time where you have a lot of draws on your energy. Or if you go through some kind of life crisis or challenge, those things are unplanned. Sometimes they're expected, but we still don't understand the depth of the impact that they're going to have in our lives. And it's important that we would just be kind with ourselves and recognize when we need to make changes. That's the other piece. I wrote my newsletter this month. We've been on this theme of letting go and deep looking and honest looking at what we can let go of, what's not serving us. And it doesn't necessarily, I think, like in the spiritual world, we get this idea that what's not serving us is, old habits, old ideas, things that kind of keep us in an old pattern, a former pattern of behavior. But it's also things that we love that don't serve us. Those are the hard things to let go of, because we recognize we're in a place where it just doesn't work anymore. And so those are things that are difficult, really, truly difficult to let go of. And when we do that, it's important that we recognize the space that it's making in our lives. So by not being here for Wellness Wednesday, yes, I missed being here. I missed connecting with all of you. And at the same time, I had to see that I just didn't have the capacity to be in front of the camera, to even have, what would I have even spoken about? I felt like I just really didn't have anything inspiring to say. And I don't know that this is all that inspiring. I'm basically just explaining my absence and encouraging you to recognize the space that it creates. I said no to a lot of things so that I could have space for rest. And then I really had to force myself to rest. Not as much as I have in the past. I've historically not been a napper. I typically can push through exhaustion and things like that. And that's simply not true for me anymore. It just is not true. And I don't really recommend that for people. You do burn out eventually doing that kind of stuff. And now I'm at a place where my body forces me to rest. There's no choice in pushing through. It's simply not possible. And that's been hard to accept, and also important to recognize that this is my truth now, and I need to honor that, and I need to accept where I am. And that's really hard too. Sometimes it's like what Eckhart Tolle always talks about, resisting what is, right? This is what is, at least right now. It doesn't mean forever. Because as Thich Nhat Hanh says, as we know, the present moment, is really all we have. The past, looking back in the past, looking to the future, they're like slides of images that we see, but they're not real. They're not real. Even our memories of the past aren't what we think they are. Memory is a funny thing. When I look back at things I pictured in my mind, say from childhood or whatever, I'll remember the building with red paint. And then when I look back at the photo, I see it had green paint. But I would have sworn to you that it was red, So we can't even really trust our memory. All we know for sure is right now. And right now affects my future, not the past. So in this moment, it is incumbent upon me to be present, to make choices now that will create a positive future for me, that will bring in things that I want, things and people that I want to attract into my life, that will support where I am right now, my truth right now. And it will change over time. So I am back. I keep saying that. I want to be here next week. I'm planning to be here next week with more inspiration for you. But I just wanted to say I missed y'all, and thank you so much for all the sweet notes and emails and comments that I get on all of my things. I try to respond to every single one thoughtfully and meaningfully, and it's important to me. Sometimes you feel like you do these things and there's like 4 people that see them, and then I hear, people will say something to me weeks later, like, oh, I saw your video about this and it really touched me, and this is how. And that's super important to me, and it's the reason that I teach. I love this. This is my vocation. Teaching is my vocation. It's my passion, and I will continue to do that here in these videos and in person as much as possible. So anyway, everybody, have a fantastic Wednesday. If you need rest, take it. Say no so that you can say yes to yourself. I'll see you again soon. Namaste.